Hey fam, wanted to come on here today. Happy Saturday, by the way. Want to do my review of Boomerang, Season 1, Episode 4. This episode is called Call a Spade, and this one was really good. It had all the girls, basically, so no guys in this one, but it was good. All right, so the episode begins with Simone at home, and she's on her phone, and she's posting pictures of her new client, as we know, Tia. She's posting them on Instagram, basically, and she gets a phone call on her cell phone, and it's from a private number, and I'm shocked she answered because if you're like me, we don't answer those calls, okay? But she did, and it's a good thing that she did because basically it's her god sister, Tay, and she's locked up, basically. She went to jail, and she needs Simone to come bail her out, basically. Simone's like, what the hell are you doing in jail? Like, what happened to you? And she's like, I was going through my man's DMs and found some questionable shit, basically. Simone's like, I told you not to do that, but obviously she didn't listen. She proceeds to tell her that basically her bail is $2,000, and Simone's like, I don't have that kind of money. And she's like, what? And she's like, I quit my job. And she's like, you better do something. And Simone's like, I'll call Uncle and see if he can give it to me. And Tay's like, don't you dare call my dad, no. And she's like, whatever, I'll figure it out, I'm on my way. So she hangs up, runs out of her room, and she goes down the hall basically and just walks right into Tay's room. And Tay is on her bed with her new boo. Her new bae, that's what she calls her. Hell, I think that's the only thing I've heard her name described as during this episode is bae. But anyway, they're on the bed, kissing, about to get it in, basically. And new bae is like, what the hell, you just gonna barge in here? And she's like, this is my place. And Tay's like, what's going on? And she tells her that, I'm sorry, that was Tia in the room with her bae. And Simone tells her that Tay's in jail, we gotta go. And Tia's immediately jumping up, you know, grabbing her coat, let's go. And they get outside, basically, and they're trying to figure out whose car to take. And Bae's like, we could take mine. And Tia's like, okay. And they get out there, and they're all stopped, just looking at the car, basically. Funny shot right here. So the car, it's a hoopty. It's a hoopty. It's not bad, like rusty, banged up, nothing like that. But that's an old ghetto. Okay, anyway. It's a ghetto car, but it has the rims on it, of course. You know, gotta have the rims. So they get out there, and they get in the car, and Simone's doing her little bitching or whatever, and Tia and her new bae are telling Simone how bougie she is. And I have to agree. I mean, if you're going to get in the car, shut the hell up and take the ride, right? So from there, Simone tells them we got to go pick up Crystal, you know, so they stop and they pick up Crystal, and as soon as they get there, they stop the car, and Crystal's just looking at him, and she's like, this car is a struggle. And Simone peeping her head out the window like, I know, girl, right? So anyway, she gets in the car, and they're driving, and basically this trip is a 90-minute trip, so they end up having to pull over for some gas. Another thing I need to point out, when they picked up Simone, I noticed in the back driver's side window is covered with a trash bag. Ghetto as hell, okay? But anyway, I guess shit happens, right? All right, so they stop for the gas, and Bae gets back in the car. She's trying to start it up, and it won't start. And she basically is like, let me call AAA. So she does, and they're sitting there waiting for AAA to show up. And while they're waiting, Tia and Bae are in the front seat, they're in that make you want to throw up in your own mouth phase of their relationship. You know, that new giddy love, everything's kind of good. And Crystal leans up front, and she's like, how long y'all been together? And Bae's like, how long we all been together, boo? And Tia's like, 3 weeks. I mean, they're cute as fuck, but they get on my fucking nerves anyway. So they start driving, and Simone's up in her phone, and she's going through Instagram, and she has stopped on Bryson's page. And let me see. I don't remember how they got on this topic. I know they started with Bryson because Simone peeped her checking Bryson's picture on Instagram, but they sort of start comparing men, because Tia had basically said if she did like dudes, she would definitely like the poetic justice Tupac, right? She's right. I'm feeling her though. Y'all know Tupac was the shit in poetic justice, okay? And Simone says, "Don't judge me, but I've never seen poetic justice." And they're like, "Bitch, we rectifying that shit tonight, okay?" And funny as hell, black people will trip on you if you ain't seen the right movies, and rightfully so, okay? Simone's like, "I told you not to tell people that." And then they like, "Please tell me you've seen Jason's lyric." And she's like, "What's that?" And basically they want to pull over and let her walk. They're like, "We're going to put you out on the street because you haven't seen Jason's lyric." They're like, "If you haven't seen the 5 heartbeats, we putting your ass out." And she's like, yes, I have seen the 5 heartbeats. And they make her quote a line from the movie, because anyone who has seen 5 heartbeats, okay, basically black folks have seen 5 heartbeats between 50 and 100 times, most of us, and we can quote many lines from that movie, so you better be able to quote one. Luckily for Simone, she could, okay? So basically they show up at the intake. They put her in a hold cell, Tay, the one they're going to pick up. They show up to pick her up, and come to find out she's already bailed out. And they're like, "What the hell?" So they get the information from the police as far as where she's going and address. They had to push for it, but they got it. Okay, so they get it. They're driving. They get to the address, but the address doesn't seem legit. So they're on cell phones with no service, basically trying to get a hold of Tay, which they're not able to do. Basically, Simone is the only one, for whatever reason, who can get a signal. And, I'm sorry, not Simone, Tia. So Simone's like, "Let me see your phone." And she's calling Tay. She's not answering. This bitch, how you gonna call somebody to bail you out of jail, bail out, not let them know, and then not... Okay. So anyway, Simone's pissed, but she's like, "Let me go on Instagram and see if I can find where this bitch is at." So, of course, she pulls it up. And where's Tay? She's at a whole party. She's at a whole college lit-looking party, okay? So they're like, "Yeah, we going there." They're noticing that there's food, that the people are drinking, they smoking, they doing everything. So they're like, "We about to get into that." So they figure out where the party's at, and they head over there. Let me see. When they walk in, they find Tay right in the lap of her dude, who was the one who got her locked up in the first place. Anyway, Simone's pissed off. She walks over there. She's going off on Tay, and Tay's apologetic, whatever. And Simone's like, "Get your shit. Come on, we need to go." Well, in the other room, Tia and her bae has sat down with 2 guys, and they're about to play spades with these guys. And they're going over the rules. Anybody who knows spades, plays spades. Everyone got their house rules. Joker, joker, deuce, like how we doing this. And they're trying to lay out rules. And these guys are being sort of vague with stuff. Stupid. And then they caught me because they were like, "Do you do sandbags?" Black folks don't do sandbags. We don't. Most of us don't. I don't. Sandbags will ruin your game. Okay, so they're setting up the rules, passing out the cards, getting ready to go. And here comes Simone. "Come on, we got to go." And Tia's like, "No, we're not." And she's like, "Come on, we need to go. We ain't got time for this." And Tia's like, "Yes, we do. We about to play these spades." And Crystal's in the kitchen talking to some dude. And as you and I know, especially today, she could use that kind of company, all right? So Simone's like, "Fine, but we're leaving as soon as you're done with that game." So Simone goes off, and the 2 girls are playing spades with the guys, basically. Okay. So this whole thing happens with them playing the guys are cheating during the game, basically. So what I mean is, like, Tia's like, they're setting their bids for the game, basically, and she's like 6. So the guy writes down 7. Basically, he's trying to set her up to fail just off top. But anyway, the girls are playing. They're killing it. Crystal's in the kitchen talking to this dude, and he's a big football player. Not at all my cup of tea, but to each their own. Anyway, they're talking, and they're vibing. She's definitely feeling him. They're in the kitchen eating. There's all kinds of good foods in there. And, wow. while all this is going on in one room, Tay ends up once again going through her dude's DMs, finding some suspect shit, and she starts screaming, going off. And here comes Simone to save the day. Simone is so strong, and so sometimes she's a pain in my ass sometimes. All right, so she goes, to Tay, like, what the hell's going on? Tay's like, she's freaking out, going off. And so at this point, Simone's gathering folks. It's time to get the hell up out of here. So there she gets the two girls, Tia and her bae, playing the spades. And basically, these dudes have cut. They've reneged. They've done all kinds of stuff during the game, but Tia and her bae end up winning anyway. So they're walking off, and then they go get Crystal out of the kitchen, who today has basically been upset because it's the 1-year anniversary of her divorce, okay? So talking to this dude in the kitchen was some kind of thing that she needed, basically. And Simone has been feeling guilty today that she shared earlier with Tay, because on her wedding day, on Crystal's wedding day, Simone, her best friend, knew that she had doubts, but she didn't say anything. She felt guilty as hell for that. So anyway, they grab Crystal out the kitchen, and before Crystal leaves, she basically leans over and she kisses this dude on the cheek. They definitely was feeling each other. They're all headed out the front door to leave, and Tay's dude is chasing her down. And when they get out on the grass, he's running behind her and yanks this, it looked like he was trying to yank her soul out of her body by this snatch and grab he did on her. But anyway, Simone's like, no, the fuck you didn't just manhandle her like that. Look, she's going off, and he's starting to go off on Simone. And Tia's bae, who's a little more dude than she is girl, she must have stepped up and clocked the fuck out this fool, okay? And he was like, caught it real good, but he turned around and walked off because he knew what was up. So from here, the girls get in the car. They're leaving. They're driving home. And Simone and Crystal are in the back talking. And Simone is sharing how guilty she had felt for not saying anything on Crystal's wedding day. And Crystal's like, you weren't supposed to. And she's like, yes, I was. I'm your best friend. And she's like, if you would have said something to me doubtful on my wedding day, I would have been pissed. She's like, your job was to take care of me, make sure I was cool, make sure that I did not kill my mother, which you did. Thanks, bitch. And Simone's like, are we good? Are we cool? And she's like, bitch, you held my hand when I got my first sewing. We're always good, okay? So from here, the road trip home, somehow, I guess they stopped, and Simone and Crystal ended up in the front. Simone's driving, Crystal's passenger seat. Tia and her band backseat falling asleep. And, they got the radio going. What's a road trip without a little music? And Brandy's I Wanna Be Down comes on. And Simone and Crystal in the front grooving, feeling this song, of course. And Tia's in the back like, turn that shit down. We're trying to sleep. And Simone's like, whatever. But they turn it down. And that's the end. That's the end of the episode. It was a good one. It's got that girlfriend feeling to it, sis. Anyway, if you like my videos, please hit the like button and become a subscriber. Hit the notification button. Thanks for watching.